He'd never had the heart to take it down. Lily insisted, he explained, though they both knew it wasn't entirely true. Dinner was awkward at first, conversation stilted and polite. But Lily, oblivious to the tension, chattered happily about school, her friends, and the present Santa had brought. Gradually, the atmosphere warmed, memories of happier times softening the edges of their shared pain. After dinner, they moved to the living room. Emma gave Lily the gift she'd brought, a beautiful snow globe with a ballerina inside, knowing Lily's love for dance. "I have something for you too, Jack," Emma said hesitantly, handing him the small gift bag. Inside was a framed photograph, one he'd never seen before. It showed him holding newborn Lily in the hospital, his face a mixture of awe and love as he gazed down at his daughter. "My mom took it," Emma explained. "I found it when I was going through her things. I thought you should have it." Jack stared at the photo, emotion tightening his throat. "Thank you," he managed. As the evening wore on, Lily began to yawn. "Time for bed, princess?" Jack said, standing up. Can Mommy tuck me in?" Lily asked hopefully. Jack and Emma exchanged glances. "If that's okay with your dad," Emma said carefully. Jack nodded, of course. He listened from the hallway as Emma read Lily a bedtime story, her voice soft and animated in all the right places. When she finished, he heard Lily ask, "Will you be here tomorrow, Mommy?" There was a pause before Emma replied, "I don't know, sweetheart. That's something your daddy and I need to talk about." "I want you to stay," Lily said sleepily, "forever." Jack stepped away from the door, his heart heavy with conflicting emotions. When Emma emerged from Lily's room, her eyes were red-rimmed. "She's asleep," she said. "Thank you for letting me do that." "She's your daughter too," Jack acknowledged. They stood in awkward silence for a moment before Jack gestured toward the living room. "Would you like some coffee or something stronger?" "Coffee would be nice," Emma said. As Jack prepared the coffee, Emma wandered around the living room, stopping at the mantel where family photos were displayed. "You've done an amazing job with her, Jack," she said quietly. "She's happy, well-adjusted. I was so afraid." "Afraid of what?" Jack asked, handing her a mug. "That I'd broken her when I left. That she'd be angry or withdrawn or Emma trailed off. Kids are resilient," Jack said. "And I never spoke badly of you to her. I told her you loved her but needed to be away for a while." "Why?" Emma asked, her voice barely audible. "Why would you do that for me after what I did?" Jack sighed, sinking onto the couch. "Because I knew something was wrong, Emma. I didn't understand it was depression. I thought maybe you'd fallen out of love with me with our life together. But I never believed you stopped loving Lily." Emma sat beside him, careful to maintain distance between them. "I never stopped loving either of you," she confessed. "That's what made it so hard. I loved you both so much, but I couldn't feel it. It was like watching my life through a glass wall. I could see everything but couldn't connect to any of it." "And now?" Jack asked, meeting her eyes. "How do you feel now?" "Better," Emma said. "I got help, therapy, medication. It took a long time, but I started to feel like myself again. That's when the guilt really hit me. By then, I thought it was too late to come back." "Why did you think that?" "Because I abandoned you," Emma said, her voice breaking. "What kind of person does that to their family? I thought you must hate me. I thought Lily would be better off without me confusing her life." Jack was quiet for a long moment, processing her words. "I was angry for a long time," he admitted, hurt, confused. "But hate? No, Emma, I never hated you. The final revelation will leave you in tears. If this story has touched your heart, please like and subscribe." Emma wiped away a tear. "When I saw you both at the mall yesterday, it was like the universe was giving me a sign. I've been trying to work up the courage to contact you since I got back to town." "And what would you have said?" Jack asked. "That I'm sorry. That I made the biggest mistake of my life. That I don't expect forgiveness. But I want a chance to be in Lily's life again, in whatever way you think is best." Jack studied the woman before him, the mother of his child, the woman he had once promised to love for better or worse. She had hurt him deeply, but sitting here now, he could see her pain had been even greater than his own. "Lily needs her mother," he said. "Finally, we can figure out some kind of visitation schedule. Start slow. See how it goes. Relief washed over Emma's face. "Thank you, Jack. That's more than I deserve." "It's not about what you deserve," Jack said. "It's about what Lily needs." Emma nodded understanding. "And what about us?" she asked hesitantly. "Can we ever be friends again?" Jack looked down at his coffee. "I don't know," he answered honestly. "That might take more time." They talked late into the night, filling in the gaps of the past 3 years. Jack told her about Lily's first day of kindergarten, her ballet recital, her obsession with dinosaurs. Emma shared stories of her recovery, her work as a graphic designer, her volunteer work with a postpartum depression support group. As the clock struck midnight, marking the end of Christmas Day, Emma stood to leave. "I should go. My mom will be wondering where I am." Jack walked her to the door. "Tell Margaret I said hello, and that I hope she feels better soon." "I will," Emma promised. "And Jack, thank you for today. It meant everything to me." As she turned to go, a small voice called from the top of the stairs. "Mommy, are you leaving?" They both looked up to see Lily standing there in her pajamas, clutching her teddy bear. "I was just saying goodnight to your daddy, sweetheart," Emma explained. "But you'll come back tomorrow?" Lily asked, her voice small and uncertain. Emma looked at Jack, who gave a slight nod. "Yes, Lily, I'll come back tomorrow." Lily's face lit up with a smile that warmed Jack's heart. "Good," she said, and then added the 2 words that would change everything. "We're family." Those simple words hung in the air between them. We're family. Not we were family, but we are family. Present tense, unbroken. Despite everything, Jack felt something shift inside him, a crack in the wall he'd built around his heart. He looked at Emma and saw the same realization dawning on her face. Their daughter, in her innocent wisdom, had cut through years of pain and regret with a truth so simple it was impossible to deny. "Yes, we are," Jack found himself saying, his voice thick with emotion. After tucking Lily back into bed, Jack returned to find Emma still standing by the door, tears streaming down her face. "She never forgot me," Emma whispered. "After everything, she still sees us as a family." "Kids see the truth sometimes better than adults do," Jack replied softly. As Emma prepared to leave again, she paused with her hand on the doorknob. "Jack, I know I have no right to ask this, but do you think there's any chance for us? Not now, not soon, but someday." Jack took a deep breath. 3 years ago, he would have said no without hesitation. But tonight, watching Emma with Lily, seeing the woman she had become through her struggle and recovery, he couldn't give that same answer. "I don't know," he said honestly, "but I'm willing to find out." The smile that bloomed on Emma's face was like the first ray of sunrise after the longest night. "That's all I can ask for," she said. As Jack closed the door behind her, he leaned against it, overwhelmed by the events of the past 2 days. Christmas had always been about miracles, but he never expected to receive one of his own. The journey ahead wouldn't be easy. Trust, once broken, took time to rebuild. But for the first time in 3 years, Jack allowed himself to hope. Hope that his daughter might grow up with both her parents. Hope that the wounds of the past might finally begin to heal. And it had all started with those 2 simple words from a 5-year-old girl. "We're family." 6 months later, Jack sat on a park bench watching Emma push Lily on the swings, their daughter's laughter carrying across the playground. The past months had been filled with careful steps forward, family dinners, weekend outings, honest conversations. After Lily went to bed, Emma had moved into her own apartment nearby, close enough to be present in Lily's life, but giving Jack the space he still needed. She had proven herself reliable, showing up when she promised, never missing a moment of their carefully constructed co-parenting schedule. And somewhere along the way, Jack had started to look forward to seeing her, to sharing stories about their day, to rediscovering the woman he had fallen in love with so many years ago. "Daddy, watch me," Lily called, pumping her legs to swing higher. "I see you, princess," he called back, smiling. Emma caught his eye across the playground and smiled, too. A smile full of gratitude and something else. Something that made his heart beat a little faster. That evening, after Lily had gone to bed, Jack and Emma sat on his front porch, the summer night warm around them. "I have something to tell you," Emma said, her voice nervous but steady. "I've been offered a permanent position at the design firm. I'm staying in town for good." Jack felt a surge of relief he hadn't expected. "That's great news, Emma. There's more," she continued. "I've been talking to my therapist about us, about our family. She thinks we've been making amazing progress, but she also warned me not to rush things. She's right." Jack agreed. "We can't just pick up where we left off." "No," Emma said. "But maybe we could start something new. Something better built on everything we've learned." Jack looked at her in the soft porch light, seeing both the woman he had loved and the stronger person she had become through her struggles. He reached out slowly and took her hand. "I'd like that," he said simply. As they sat together under the stars, Jack thought about the Christmas Eve that had changed everything. How a chance meeting and a child's simple words had opened the door to healing and second chances. Life wasn't a fairy tale. There would still be hard days ahead, trust to rebuild, and wounds that needed time to fully heal. But sitting here now with Emma's hand in his and their daughter sleeping peacefully inside, Jack knew one thing for certain. They were family, and this time they would face whatever came next together. If this story touched your heart, please like and subscribe for more content that reminds us of the power of forgiveness, the strength of family bonds, and the possibility of second chances, even when they seem impossible. Sometimes the most profound changes begin with the simplest words spoken from the heart of a child. "Daddy, she's crying." Those two simple words from 5-year-old Lily shattered the carefully constructed walls Jack had built around his heart over the past 3 years. There, standing in the crowded mall on Christmas Eve, was Emma, his ex-wife, the woman who had walked away from their family without looking back. But why was she alone? Why was she crying? And why, despite everything, did Jack still feel that familiar pull toward her? What happens next will change their lives forever. The mall buzzed with last-minute shoppers, Christmas music floating through the air as Jack gripped Lily's small hand tightly. He hadn't planned to be here today, but Lily had begged to see Santa one last time before Christmas. How could he say no to those big brown eyes? Eyes that reminded him so much of Emma's. "Daddy, look, it's Mommy." Lily tugged at his sleeve, pointing across the food court. Jack's heart stopped. 3 years. It had been 3 years since Emma had walked out of their lives, claiming she needed to find herself. 3 years of bedtime stories without a mother's goodnight kiss. 3 years of Jack learning to be both mom and dad to their daughter. "Lily, honey, I don't think." But his words died in his throat when he saw her. Emma stood near the pretzel stand, one hand covering her mouth, tears streaming down her face. She looked thinner than he remembered, her once vibrant appearance now subdued. "Daddy, she's crying," Lily said, her voice small with concern. Before Jack could stop her, Lily broke free from his grip and darted through the crowd. Jack's heart lurched as he pushed through the sea of shoppers, trying to keep his daughter's bobbing red hat in sight. "Mommy!" Lily called out, and Emma turned, her tear-stained face freezing in shock. If you're enjoying this story so far, please hit that like button and subscribe to see more content like this. The journey these three are about to embark on will touch your heart in ways you never expected. Emma knelt down as Lily approached, her hands trembling as she reached for the daughter she hadn't seen in years. Jack stood frozen several feet away, a storm of emotions raging inside him. Anger, confusion, and something else he didn't want to acknowledge. "Lily." Emma's voice cracked. "Oh my God, you've gotten so big." Jack finally found his voice. "Lily, come back here." His tone was sharper than intended, causing both Emma and Lily to flinch. "Jack," Emma whispered, standing slowly, "I didn't expect to see you here." "Clearly," he replied coldly. "Come on, Lily, we need to go see Santa." "But Daddy, Mommy's sad," Lily insisted, her small face scrunched with worry. "We can't leave her alone on Christmas." Jack felt dozens of eyes on them, curious onlookers watching their family drama unfold in the middle of the mall. He lowered his voice. "This isn't the place, Lily. Please," Emma said quietly. "Could we talk just for a minute?" Jack wanted to say no. Every logical part of his brain screamed at him to take Lily and walk away. But something in Emma's eyes, a desperation he'd never seen before, made him hesitate. 5 minutes, he conceded. "There's a coffee shop around the corner." As they walked in tense silence, Jack couldn't help but notice how Emma kept stealing glances at Lily, drinking in every detail of the daughter she'd abandoned. What right did she have to look at Lily that way? Now, the coffee shop was mercifully quiet compared to the mall. Jack ordered hot chocolate for Lily and black coffee for himself. Emma asked for tea, her voice barely audible. So Jack said once they were seated, Lily happily distracted by the whipped cream mountain on her hot chocolate. "What brings you back to town?" Emma wrapped her hands around her mug. "My mom's sick, cancer. I came back to help take care of her." Jack felt a pang of sympathy despite himself. Margaret had always been kind to him, even after the divorce. "I'm sorry to hear that." "She's been asking about Lily," Emma continued, her eyes fixed on the table. "About you too?" "We're fine," Jack said curtly. "We've been fine without you." What Emma reveals next will leave you speechless. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what happens. Emma flinched as if he'd slapped her. "I deserve that," she whispered. "I deserve all your anger, Jack. What I did was unforgivable." "Then why did you do it?" The question that had haunted him for 3 years finally escaped. "Why did you leave us?" Emma's eyes filled with fresh tears. "I was sick, Jack. Not physically, mentally. I had postpartum depression that never went away. It just got worse and worse until I couldn't see any way out." I thought her voice broke. "I thought you and Lily would be better off without me." Jack stared at her, processing her words. He remembered the months before she left, how she'd withdrawn, how she'd cry for no reason, how she'd stopped eating. He'd attributed it to unhappiness in their marriage, never considering it might be something deeper. "Why didn't you tell me?" he asked, his voice softer. "Now I was ashamed. I thought I was failing as a mother, as a wife, and then I convinced myself you'd be happier if I just disappeared." Lily, who had been quietly sipping her hot chocolate, suddenly spoke up. "Did you stop loving us, Mommy?" Emma's face crumpled. "No, baby, never, not for 1 second. I thought about you every single day." "Then why didn't you come back?" Lily's innocent question hung in the air. "Because I was scared," Emma admitted. "Scared you wouldn't want me anymore? Scared I'd hurt you again." Jack watched as his daughter processed this information. Her small brow furrowed in concentration. Then, with the simple wisdom only children possess, Lily said, "But you're here now." Those 4 words hit Jack like a thunderbolt. She was here now. After 3 years of absence, Emma had returned. But was it too late? Could they ever rebuild what had been broken? "Where are you staying?" Jack found himself asking. "At my mom's house. I've been there for about a week." Jack nodded slowly. "Tomorrow is Christmas." "I know," Emma said, looking down. "I was at the mall buying a gift for my mom when I saw you both." Lily tugged at Jack's sleeve. "Daddy, can Mommy come to our house for Christmas, please?" Jack looked at his daughter's hopeful face, then at Emma's surprised one. 1,000 reasons to say no raced through his mind. But then he remembered something his own father had told him. "Christmas is for forgiveness, son. If you can't find it in your heart to forgive on Christmas, when can you?" What happens next will warm your heart and remind you of the true meaning of Christmas. If you're enjoying this story, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content that touches the soul. "Dinner is at 6, Jack said. "Finally, nothing fancy, just ham and potatoes." Emma's eyes widened. "Are you sure?" "No," Jack admitted honestly. "But it's Christmas and Lily wants you there." "And you?" Emma asked softly. "What do you want, Jack?" Jack looked at her, really looked at her for the first time since their unexpected reunion. Behind the sadness in her eyes, he could still see traces of the woman he had fallen in love with, the woman who had given him the greatest gift in his life. Their daughter. "I want," he began, then paused. "I want Lily to have a good Christmas." It wasn't the whole truth, but it was all he could offer right now. Emma nodded, understanding the unspoken boundaries. "Thank you. I'll bring dessert." As they prepared to leave, Lily surprised them both by taking Emma's hand. "I missed you, Mommy," she said simply. Emma knelt down, tears flowing freely now. "I missed you too, baby. More than you'll ever know." Jack watched this exchange with a lump in his throat. He had spent 3 years trying to fill the void Emma had left in Lily's life. But some spaces could only be filled by a mother's love. The next morning, Christmas Day dawned bright and clear, a fresh blanket of snow covering the ground overnight. Jack woke early, his mind racing with thoughts of the day ahead. Would Emma actually show up? What would they talk about? How would Lily handle having her mother back in her life, even if just for one day? He found Lily already awake, sitting by the Christmas tree in her pajamas. "Santa came," she exclaimed when she saw him. "He sure did," Jack smiled, pushing aside his worries to focus on his daughter's joy. They spent the morning opening presents, making pancakes, and watching Christmas movies. But as the day progressed, Jack noticed Lily growing increasingly distracted, her eyes darting to the window every few minutes. "She'll be here, sweetheart," he assured her, though he wasn't entirely convinced himself. At Forzost, Jack started preparing dinner, his hands moving mechanically through the familiar motions while his mind wandered. He thought about the first Christmas he and Emma had spent together, how they'd burned the turkey and ended up ordering Chinese food. He thought about their first Christmas with Lily, how they'd stayed up all night assembling a dollhouse. He thought about the 3 Christmases since Emma left, how he'd forced himself to be cheerful for Lily's sake while feeling hollow inside. At 5:45, the doorbell rang. What happens at that door will change everything. The final moments of this story will leave you breathless. Lily raced to the door, Jack following close behind. When he opened it, Emma stood on the porch, snowflakes dusting her hair, holding a bakery box and a small gift bag. "Merry Christmas," she said tentatively. "Merry Christmas, Mommy," Lily exclaimed, throwing her arms around Emma's legs. "Come in," Jack said, stepping aside. "Dinner's almost ready." Emma entered the house slowly, her eyes taking in the familiar surroundings. "You kept the same decorations," she observed, noticing the handmade ornaments on the tree, the stockings hanging from the fireplace, including hers. Jack realized with a start